I have always said wood coasters are an acquired taste. They are a bit different from steel coasters and have a very distinctive feel. It's a lot more out of control, slightly more rough, and feel generally more unsafe. I'm not a huge fan of wood coasters. I'll take most steel coasters over wood coasters, however I still really enjoy a good woody. I think they are unique enough to deserve their own spot in a solid lineup, however I do not think wood coasters are the future. At all. So in today's video, we are going to take a deep dive into the wood coaster, why it's a dead model, and what is going to replace it. Now I'll provide a lot of evidence on why it's not a sustainable future for those non-believers out there, but trust me, I think it's pretty clear that we are losing this whole category of distinctive coasters. To start off, we are going to talk about the manufacturers that even offer wood coasters. Of course, the ones that are defunct are RCCA, DIN, and Custom Coasters International. Now, RCCA and DIN are not super special. I mean, RCCA is the worst manufacturer I can ever think of. They shot their shot, they aimed for the moon, and they didn't even make it a foot off of the Earth. That's how bad they are. DIN is the same way. They also tried to go to the moon and made it about an inch off the Earth. Both of these manufacturers are responsible for some of the worst coasters on the planet, but also some of the most ambitious coasters on the planet. Now CCI on the other hand is not an utter failure. They actually did some stuff, and some really cool stuff at that. Ghost Rider, Boulder Dash, Shivering Timbers, those are a few of their notable works. Unfortunately, this company was not able to make ends meet and declared bankruptcy in 2002. Now, the engineers at Custom Coasters International were able to form another company called Gravity Group, and they are still in full swing today. We will talk about them in a second. So those are all the defunct coaster manufacturers. Now let's look at the manufacturers that currently make wood coasters. And currently make wood coasters means that the company is still around, not that they actually make wood coasters. Starting off, we have Intamin. They had a very short but successful run with making wood coasters. The prefabricated idea was genius, and it allowed for some of the best wood coasters in the entire world to be built. However, these coasters are extremely expensive, and no park these days wants to buy one, especially with the added issues that ElToro has had. There's also Philadelphia Toboggan Company, or PTC for short, and while this company has built an insane amount of wood coasters, they don't make any more these days. Their last coaster was Screamin' Eagle at Six Flags St. Louis, and that was built in 1976. PTC only makes their trains nowadays. Their trains are good with those buzz bars, but those aren't actual ground-up wood coasters. There's also Rocky Mountain Construction. Yes, they do make wood coasters, and no, it's not their iBox or their Retrack 2 of 8, both of which we will talk about later. I'm talking about their Topper Track, and RMCS came out and said they will no longer offer their Topper Track and wants to shift their focus towards their steel models. However, I am sure if a park is really adamant about getting Topper Track, RMC will be willing to confide. So if RMC, Intamin, and PTC are no longer making wood coasters, as well as the defunct manufacturers, who is? Well, there are two companies, the Gravity Group and GCI. Gravity Group is the manufacturer that was founded by CCI's engineers, and they're actually the only hope for wood coasters. CCI has came out and said that they are never going to transition to steel and hold true to the wood coaster ideology. Gravity Group is also super innovative. They have made all wooden inversions, made a wooden shuttle coaster, are able to build super huge masterpieces, as well as insanely good family coasters. They're the most diverse wood coaster manufacturer and are truly the only hope for a bright future. I mean, if all other manufacturers switch to this steel, these are the guys that will provide you with traditional wood coasters. However, Gravity Group just took a massive L with Mindblower. I will talk about it in another segment, but just know it's coming up again. GCI, on the other hand, has said they want to start phasing in more steel track. GCI has been the staple wooden coaster manufacturer of the industry for the past 20 years. They make middle-of-the-road woodies year after year after year. They're reliable and haven't really changed their philosophy until now. GCI has came out with a new steel track to put on top of wooden supports, making it a hybrid coaster. Their new additions contain this Chitin track like Zambezi Singer, though we are still yet to see a full layout with an all-steel track. However, this is a massive hit to the wood coaster community. Seeing the staple manufacturer come out and say, "We don't like wood anymore," it's the most prominent thing pointing to the decline of wood coasters. Now the problem with woodies aren't the coasters themselves, their rideability, or how popular they are, it's about reliability and maintenance. Wood coasters require some of the most maintenance out of any coaster ever. I mean, yeah, steel coasters you still need to do some work, but for wood coasters you need to retrack the intensive parts of the coaster like every off-season. It's just a huge headache for any park and really everyone involved. That's why GCI Titan Track is such a popular idea. It takes away the headache of having the wood coaster maintenance, but still keeps the look and ride experience of a wood coaster. Now obviously it does enhance the layout a bit more by making the trains go a tad bit faster and being a generally smoother experience, what we all enjoy. So yes, I think we will see a full GCI Titan Track coaster drop in the next 5 years, and unlike some others, I'm going to happily welcome it because I don't like jackhammering on wood coasters. Now who is getting GCI Titan Track? Let's talk about everyone who is. Just so you guys know, if a defunct company or GCI's coasters are getting Titan Track, it's not the end of the world. The problem is Gravity Group's coasters or Intimate's coasters getting Titan Track. This would directly lead to the death of the wood model and a traditional manufacturers losing a business. So here are all the new hybrid wood coasters. Doors and the Drop receive Titan Track. They are made by GCI originally, so it doesn't matter a whole lot. Predator at Darien Lake is also getting Titan Track. This is a Din creation, so a defunct manufacturer getting retracked is not that huge. Wood and Timber Coaster at Europa Park is getting GCI Titan Track. This is also not the biggest deal ever because it is designed by GCI already. Wildcat at Lake Compounce will be getting a full complete layout of GCI Titan Track, but then again, it's not the biggest deal because this is a relatively small coaster. Also at Lake Compounce, Boulder Dash will be receiving Titan Track. The whole entire first drop got the GCI treatment. This is by a defunct manufacturer CCI, so not huge news. Wolverine at Michigan's Adventure has Titan Track. This is by Din, no big deal. And of course we have Zambezi Zinger, which is partially using Titan Track. As you can tell, that is a ton of Titan Track that has been installed or being installed. Like I said, no surprise. The good news is that all these wood coasters are by defunct manufacturers or GCI themselves, so no loss of business by traditional wood manufacturers has occurred, right? Wrong, you know what just happened? Gravity Group lost some business. I don't know how we have managed to make it this far into the video without seriously talking about RMC. Now just to throw it out there really quick, RMC is the maker of the iBox track. This is steel track that is put on top of wooden supports, or it can be built from the ground up. It has insane ejector airtime, good inversions, and is amazingly smooth. This model made its debut on New Texas Giant in 2011. It was the first sign that the death of wood coasters was coming, as a new steel track could outperform a wood coaster 10 times over in a mere 1-year construction process. RMC iBox to this day has dominated the market and is the most probable contender for an old aging Woody. Wood coasters are falling down left and right to the new steel iBox track, yet no one cares because they were bad wooden coasters to start out with, and the RMC treatment improves upon the ride experience to insane levels. Nevertheless, this is a huge kick in the stomach to wood coasters. Now the reason why I brought up RMC in the first place is that they stole a job from the Gravity Group. If you guys have not heard Mindblower at Fun Spot, let me get this right. Fun Spot Kissimmee?
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Alligator.
Anyways, this is a Gravity Group built coaster and one of their super innovative layouts as well. This all wooden coaster contains a corkscrew, which is very unique for a wooden model. Basically, shenanigans went down in the construction process and this coaster got rough. Seriously rough. So now I introduce to you RMC Retrack 208. I think 208 is the area code for the RMC headquarters. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, this is exactly like GCI Titan Track in the sense that it is metal track that replaces wooden track. It can be done on rough parts or it can be done on a complete layout. RMC also boasts that a full retrack can be done in a single off-season. Now this is an absolute killer of traditional wood coasters for the exact same reason as Titan Track. This specific model can fit any type of wood coaster and keep existing trains, so it's very appealing to old aging woodies who desperately need maintenance. And that's exactly why Gravity Group lost the traditional retrack and the legacy of the traditional woody. It's going to be partially steel now, which is a huge blow for those wooden coaster fans, even if this coaster desperately needed it. So Mindblower is a hybrid now, it's no longer classified as a woody, and I see this exact scenario playing out 10 times over on different coasters every year. If it's with RMC Retrack or Titan Track, it doesn't matter. The traditional woodies are dying and phasing out. In 30 years, every wooden coaster will be a hybrid, except the true classics like Coney Island Cyclone, and even then, it's a gamble. From every perspective possible, going with a hybrid layout is the better option, and here's why. Not only is it more reliable and a better experience, I mean those are the two main things, but it still looks and feels like a wood coaster. It still uses wood supports. To the GP, it is virtually the same thing as it was before. Heck, I have heard GP several times before call an iBox a wood coaster, and that is definitely not a wood coaster. So yes, even with metal track or partially metal track, these hybrid coasters are going to be wood coasters in everyone's eyes, and that's the problem. The death of wood coasters is really among us. It started with the ingenious invention of RMC iBox, the death of huge wood coasters like Mean Streak and Gwazi, and is now pointing towards hybrid models with GCI Titan Track and RMC Retrack. Not only this, there are only 2 remaining wood coaster manufacturers, with one of them moving away from true wooden track. Everything about a hybrid coaster feels like a wood coaster in appearance, and somewhat in the reliability. I think it's really safe to say the death of wood coasters is upon us. That's all for today's video, guys. Let me know if you agree with my decisions in the comment section below, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.